Yo, my name is Big Lou, and you're now listening to Go Produce. We're the show that explores how music industry professionals turn their passions into profits. In this episode, we've got Dimitri Manuel, someone that constantly keeps the show going, whether it's at a venue or at a festival. The Go Produce focus of this episode is how do you execute a successful event despite both expected and unexpected hurdles? If you like the idea of promoting events or plan on attending events as a guest, then this episode is for you. Thank you, Dimitri, for being here. I want you to know that we do appreciate your time, so why don't we go ahead and make the most of it? Let's go ahead and go produce. Listeners, let me tell you who we've got here for you today. Dimitri Manuel. He's the Vice President and Operations Manager at the London Music Hall and is also the co-founder and festival director of London's Block Party, Park Jam, and the former Trackside Music Festival. We got a heavy hitter here today. Dimitri has over 10 years of experience in the industry covering everything from venue ownership and management to talent buying to festival operations and so much more. Above his many skill sets, he's also worked with and purchased artists such as Snoop D.O.G., Deadmau5, J. Cole, Mac Miller, Zedd, and of course, the list goes on. But you know what else goes on? This little show called Go Produce, so let's go. Dimitri Manuel, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Much pleasure. Very happy to have you here. Like I said, we appreciate your time, so let's run right into the first segment, which is called Pow, the Basics.
All right, I'm excited. Let's do this.
Perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. Oof. I won't ever miss an opportunity to dance. All right. So the basics, what we're going to do here is we're going to run through some simple questions so that we can get to know you better, a little bit on a personal level, a little bit on a professional level, so that we can, create some connection with our listeners. I like to start off with my favorite question. What is your first musical memory? Way back when?
Outside of an ice cream shop, watching an a cappella group, my parents used to always take me. It was actually on Adelaide, I want to say Merlin May, I believe it's called. There was a a cappella group called the Essentials. And they Existentials?
I'm repeating what you said.
Oh, Essentials. Sorry,
Essentials.
the Essentials.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you know them too? And did I get the name wrong? Yeah, the Essentials. And they played a lot of Frankie Valli a cappella stuff, the Four Seasons, a lot of stuff back from the 50s and 60s. So that was my first musical memory. I was probably 6 or 7 years old.
That's super awesome. So that's like you really get to see people manipulate their voice through a cappella and then the harmonies. It's a beautiful thing to see that live, no?
Absolutely, yeah.
You feel it.
Yes.
Very cool. Dimitri, as the Vice President and Operations Manager of the London Music Hall, what does your day-to-day look like?
Well, day-to-day, I have approximately 80 to 100 staff that work underneath me. So if it's a show day, it starts with the band rolling in anytime, usually between 6 a.m., 10 a.m., with a tour bus, with their van, whatever they have. I'm always there to greet them, get them parked, get them situated. We have a whole hospitality, rider that, we have set up in their green room. We welcome them in there. The techs come in, and then we start preparing for the show that night. So that's usually the morning, getting to know everyone on their crew. There's a lot of fun during the day, different crews. We get to work with different people every single day. That's, the best part of probably the job. And the best part of, everyone working, I would say, about the job is just working with different crews and different people from all around the world every single day. And then, we prepare for the show. Doors open, people start flocking in. There's always, a lot of things to deal with.
I bet.
On a night to night, depending on the show, what the show is as well. But for the most part, it's, smooth sailing. We have great staff that work with us. And that's a show day. Once the doors open, I get to enjoy the show a little bit more. Hopefully I'm not called on the radio for any urgent matter. And then get to, greet friends and enjoy the show.
So for the whole production, you have 80 to 100 people at London Music Hall alone, plus the other teams that come in with the artists and whatnot.
So we have about 80 to 100 staff working on a show. It could be anywhere between 12 to 35, 40. on one particular show.
So you've got you potentially have a lot of support.
Exactly. A lot of support. And that goes everything from security to bartenders to stagehands, techs. So yeah, and you know, maybe in the near future, if anyone wants to ever apply for a job, they can email info@londonmusichall.com.
I'm severely underpaid, so I'll...
It won't get much better in the live music industry, brother.
I'm not too sure we miss you, Angry Sound Guy. Just saying. Is there anything that you're currently doing to sharpen your skills, or something that you think might be valuable for people to do during this time?
Yeah, there's I'm focusing a lot on kind of my body and my health during this time. So something I was not doing previously when I was working. The Rocky song. So there you go. You see it, baby?
Yeah.
You're Adrian. So that's what I'm doing right now. And that's something, again, when I was working, 60, 70 hours a week, basically, at the hall doing concerts, festivals, sometimes you don't have the time to do that. So I'm practicing a lot more of, health and fitness right now.
You have over 10 years of experience in the industry, and you've covered a lot of ground while spending time here. Tell us about a significant struggle that you've had in your professional journey.
In my professional journey, a struggle that I've had. Oh, wow. I would say putting on a music festival, and it's a yearly struggle. I've done anywhere between 3 and 4 a year on some years. And it is a mental struggle for various reasons. At the London Music Hall, I say we have, 80, 90 staff, but a lot of it's part-time workers, security, whatnot. So our in-house staff isn't quite as large, and we've produced some fairly big festivals. So we have a smaller team working on that, and our team is great. But it is, putting on a festival for 10,000 plus people some years could be, it is a struggle. Everything from worrying about the weather to artists showing up late.
So a lot can go wrong.
A lot can go wrong, and many things have gone wrong.
If it can go wrong, it's bound to.
Exactly. So the mental preparation for a music festival, I enjoy it, and I think I've done pretty well with it. And I'm pretty easygoing, and I don't get too stressed easily. But that would be a struggle, I would say.
So your ability to handle the immense mental amount of, or I should say, your ability to navigate the stressful situation of running a festival event was the greatest struggle. But that also allowed you to get to this point in your career, I'd imagine. Yes?
Yeah. At this point where, I'm also comfortable, more comfortable in many situations, when putting on a major event.
So one building experience always makes the next one a little bit more simple, not necessarily easier. But how did you begin to start managing that amount of stress?
The first few festivals went fairly well, and they were minimal. Some of the they weren't as large as the festivals that we're doing today, like the Trackside Music Festival and what Block Party is today. A 2-day festival with 20 DJs. We started with just a couple kind of headlining DJs a year, and 2, 3 1-day festivals. So I was able to not be as stressed out with incidents happening during the smaller festivals, I would say. And then once I got to doing 2-day festivals and 3-day festivals, I was much more comfortable in the position, and I knew how to navigate some of the issues that arose.
Absolutely. You keep on chipping at it, one step at a time, and you get there. Are there?
Yeah, there's gonna be plenty of mistakes that you make. Doesn't matter what industry you are, but you just learn from them, and
you better believe that.
Keep your head on.
Yeah, it's true. Do you have any specific techniques or day of routines that you do like on stressful days?
You know what? From the top of my head, I don't know if I have any specific kind of routines that I do. I literally wake up and get going.
Just get out of bed.
That's it. That get out of
Stop
bed
waiting.
and exactly.
May as well just get the day going.
Yeah, exactly.
The best part of a difficult
But this is what I'm practicing. Yeah, I'm practicing right now on keeping my health and some meditation. And I think that that's going to help me in the future as well.
It definitely does. I agree. I think it helps with every aspect of a person's life. Going along with the last question, with all of your experience, is there something else that you're really hoping that you can accomplish in your career? And it can be big or small, but what is potentially next? I know this is hard, but what?
Yeah.
Could be anything.
Honestly, so I'll tell you, when I first started, my goal, and I remember I set this out for myself. I'm like, I want to book and have perform at my venue. And this was before I was doing even 500-person shows or 300-person shows. Was Modest Mouse.
Okay.
They're one of my, when I was a kid, I always, I was a big fan of Modest Mouse. Back in 14, 15, 16 years of age. And I just thought of them as this, like, if I can get Modest Mouse to play here, that wasn't like, it's not like I was, U2 is one of my favorite bands. So I wanted to make it realistic, the goal. So Modest Mouse was my realistic goal. And that happened in, I think, 2014. And I had even booked bigger names previous to that. But Modest Mouse was the one that I set my goal out at the beginning. And when the opportunity arose, and it was hard for them to tour in Canada for a little while. When the opportunity arose for them to come, jumped over that.
You had to. There was more meaning to it.
Yeah, so I just went back. So goals in the future. Wow. I've done quite a bit in the industry in my 10 years with the especially the major music festivals, arena shows, maybe being
an arena show
in arena shows would be pretty fun. But I think that would be less stressful and less of an accomplishment, honestly, than music.
Interesting. I just got word from the back. Are you saying that Modest Mouse is worse than U2?
No, I am not. No, they're different.
They're different. JK, LOL. But yes, that brings us to the end of the basics round. We are now on to the speed round. Pew, pew, fast.
All right.
Whenever you're ready. Not you, Dimitri. We're just still waiting on our friend.
Grumpy sound guy, get your shit together.
Hey, about time. Thanks for doing your job, Angry Sound Guy. Oh, here I am trying to start the next segment. This segment is called the speed round. What we're going to do here is we're going to throw 20 rapid fire questions at you designed to be answered quickly by either saying yes, no, this, that, both, neither, and that's it. You can't say anything else. You do,
yes, no,
however,
this, that, both, neither.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do have the opportunity to clarify anything afterwards, but we'll leave that until afterwards. Good to go? Any questions?
No questions.
All right. So let's get it going. Sweater or hoodie?
Hoodie.
iOS or Android?
iOS.
At the movie, you want candy or popcorn?
Depends on the day. Both.
Both.
I can say, but can I say both?
Yeah, you can say both. Absolutely.
Both. 100% both.
Basketball or hockey?
Hockey.
Card game or board game?
Card game.
Rich or successful?
Successful.
Does your birthday always happen on the same day?
No.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Do you prefer hidden or discovered?
Discovered.
Are we about to work hard or are we about to play hard?
Work hard.
Big party or small gathering?
Small gathering.
Do you prefer pop or indie?
I don't know why.
Moving
I
on.
couldn't answer that. That was tough.
That was tough.
That was the toughest question I ever got in my life.
Fought for it. Next question: horror movie or comedy?
Comedy. I hate horror movies. Oh my
Oof.
god.
You get a little
I don't watch
frightened.
them. I can't watch them.
Blood boils. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Do you prefer working alone or working in a team?
Team.
Do you prefer money or free time?
Money.
Money. Rap or rock?
Rock.
Mansion in the suburbs or cabin in the mountains?
What was the first one?
Mansion in the suburbs or cabin in the mountains?
Mansion in the suburbs. So even though I don't really want a mansion, so I don't want to be up in a cabin in the woods either. So.
Fair. I hear you. Stop or go?
Go.
Go. Music hall or rum runners?
Music hall.
Interesting. I'm going to ask you if there's anything you want to clarify, but I also have a couple that I want to clarify. Is there anything that you wanted to clarify?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
The first one, I want to, like, why would you choose music hall over rum runners?
Honestly, music hall allows rum runners to be what it is today. The growth of the music hall and the growth of the music hall, whether it be financially, allows us to do a lot of cool projects and rum runners that we might not be able to do, including local indie night, local band nights every Friday night, the late show. It's basically almost subsidized in a way from what music hall can bring in. And music hall, there's more challenges in the music hall and a lot more versatility. So
interesting.
That's why music hall.
Okay, and then
But both are amazing venues.
they each have their character, their own personality.
Absolutely.
They're like cousins. They work well together, but they're their own person.
Exactly.
Another one I wanted to ask you about was pop or indie. You struggled with that one.
I was just thinking, you know what? I was thinking top down in the car, driving on a summer day or sunroof open. It would be pop. Sitting at home, eating a meal, indie. So it depends where I am. And,
Miley Cyrus kind of feel on the convertible?
100%.
Hey, I hear you.
Yeah, party in the USA.
Party in the Yeah, I was about to start singing, but it's better for everyone if I didn't do that.
Yeah. I'm not joking either. Like, yeah, Miley Cyrus all day.
That's your thing.
It
Hey?
most definitely would be better for me if you didn't sing ever. Please.
Oh, well, tell me how you really feel, man. Damn. That, after your input, brings us to the end of Speed Round and right into the beginning of the next segment, which is called Pow, What's Yo Take? I have to stop making these weird noises. I feel like it's more dramatic. It's like a 90s video game. Next up, What's Yo Take? Here, we will be providing you different quotes, statements, topics, or ideas, and we just want you to share your opinion. Okay? Cool. First up, I did something at your venue or at your event that I wasn't supposed to, but it's not my fault. What's your take?
If it's legitimately not your fault, or even if it was your fault, I usually like to talk to the person I'm sorry, I don't get like, am I supposed to tell you, like, put myself in that position, or you specifically?
Oh, so if you were encountering someone that did something at your event and that's their approach, but like realistically it is their fault, maybe they're a little inebriated and they're trying to get away with it.
Okay, sorry, I was just getting too philosophical there.
Don't get me wrong, I love that approach too.
Yeah, I would just talk to them. Wouldn't want to kick them out. Kicking someone out of the venue is always the last resort for me. Never want to do it. So I'd find out why they wanted to do it. It depends what they did. Like if they stole money from like a bartender, which has happened before, or tips.
Right out of the tip jar?
Right out of the tip jar, right off the counter. Oh yeah, and out of the tip jar, both. Yeah, if it's not, I'd have to know what it is. We have cameras everywhere too, so I always check the cameras to see what really transpired. and I can do that in in minutes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, fair.
I have a lot of information usually when I go into talking to somebody. I'm brought in usually last, and I have all the information. So,
Well, I'm curious now as to what kinds of information you want before you talk to someone.
well, I want to know. I speak to any witness, whether it's staff or other. I want to know exactly what they did, and then I usually look at the cameras to see um, before I go into the conversation with them.
Very nice.
See what they did. If what they did was it justifies, you know, exiting them from the facility.
Yeah, fair. Interesting. I'm like, I definitely thought, I mean, throwing people out isn't good for business, but at the same time, is it easier to almost just eject the person that's causing this problem because it'll take less time to handle?
If it's a serious enough problem, yes. I mean, there's been times where it's been somewhat of a serious enough problem, and I didn't eject them, and then it backfired
Became
in my
worse.
face.
Right.
Exactly. So, yeah,
Case by case.
sometimes exactly, it's case by case.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. The next statement. I'm an artist or a group that has a large following, but I've got a bad attitude. Shall we do business?
We shall. I'll, give you a chance. If we have, even if we've had somewhat of a bad history, I would continue to give chances. It depends what the attitude is, but we'll do business.
Has there ever been a time where you encountered an artist that is just too much, no names necessary, but the behavior was even overwhelming for you? Not worth it, I should say.
I mean, locally, no. Internationally, yes. Riff Raff.
Oh,
And I don't even like admitting that I booked him, but it was the worst experience of my life. I think I almost fought his brother, who was his road manager, who was a complete and utter idiot.
oh, I think you need to recall this memory because that's a great story.
They got kicked out of their hotel at the Delta. They were staying at the Delta, and they got kicked out at like 2 a.m, 3 a.m. I got an email the next day, and I apologized to them. I said, "Sorry, guys, I'll never book this individual ever again."
Yeah. And here we are. Never booked again, I bet.
Never booked again. No, doesn't matter if you can fill up the venue and we could make some good money on the show. No chance.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Cool.
And it's my own fault for booking me. Like, I knew that it was going to be a little bit of a headache, but it just went to a whole new level with that clown.
And so, do you find that if you take on people with difficult, say, personalities or characteristics, whatever the case may be, does it make a big difference when you come across someone that's, ready to work, polite, open to new ideas? Do you find a big difference there? Is that noticeable?
Yeah, I mean, 99% of the people who we book and people in the industry are solid, professionals, easy to work with. And even if they're not easy to work with, they're professionals. And we can get through any kind of, reason that they have for being who they are, because some people aren't in a great state on any given day. Someone can walk in and they could even be a good person, but they're just having a shitty day.
That's a
And
good point.
you can tell, and that goes on our end too. Some of maybe of our crew, I've always tried to. I don't think I've ever had an issue where I've been, a not a nice person to somebody coming in, except for Riff Raff when we almost like fought. But other than that, yeah, no.
I mean, you got to admit he's a super talented artist, no?
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't even like looked up his name since. I don't even know if he's doing anything right now. Nor do I care. But I think he was in character the whole time, which was just annoying. I don't know. I don't know his character. I have no idea, man. It was just
Beats me.
Yeah.
How about any agents or managers?
No comment.
I had to throw it in and see what happened.
There's definitely no comment. There's one.
No comment. Fair. Moving on. Hosting a music festival is one of the most stressful or strenuous events you could host.
Yes.
Yes, plain and simple.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just a variety of reasons. You know the saying, the customer is always right.
I've heard it once or twice.
Yeah. Well, in a music festival, you have to be very patient with plenty of different customers for plenty of different reasons during the course of the weekend or the day. Um, and some of them have legitimate reasons why they're upset at any given moment, but a lot of them do not. There's intoxication. When you put 10,000 people, inside, or 20,000 or however many, inside a bubble, with alcohol, so you're gonna have some challenges. Again, I think we've done a great job over the years mitigating any issues. We've had great response from sponsors and the city, but it is very challenging, and you have to be open to the challenge.
Yeah.
You can't just say, hey, I'm going to book this artist. They're going to go on stage. Everyone's going to have a good time. And, no, there's plenty of reasons. I had an artist show up half hour after his set time was supposed to start because they kept lying about where they were in the air when they were still on the ground in Michigan
What?
when they were going to land. So they went on half hour, and I had to make a deal with an agent backstage to get their artist who was on stage at the moment to continue playing.
Yeah. To do more.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, good thing that I've got a great relationship with that agent, and good thing he was there.
And
So
the artist
he
was
told
prepared
his artist,
too.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, it was Grand Theft it was a block party, so it was, yeah, Grand Theft and Sean Frank, who played a back-to-back set. They were supposed to go off, and they played an extra like 45 minutes or an hour on top of their original
I'm
set
sure
time.
they didn't
So
mind.
yeah. So then the artist showed up, and there were some words exchanged backstage, and basically kicked him off stage after he performed one song.
Nice. So you do a lot of prep work in terms of covering your booties, for lack of a better term.
Absolutely.
But what about the weather? How do you make decisions with that? For example, Block Party 2019.
Yes. So I've been very lucky over the last 10 years. All the festivals, there's only been twice that I've had to either postpone or not postpone, delay a festival. One was Trackside in 2017, I believe. And that was just an afternoon. It was about an hour and a half. And then Block Party 2019, the worst part is, remember the thing about the customer being always right? There was no rain, and there was no lightning above us at this time. However, insurance protocol, it was within the radius of the stage needing to be shut down. Now people don't know that, so people are calling me names, livid, just on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, outside of the gates. Basically calling us a bunch of ripoffs.
Because everyone's an expert, of course.
Exactly. So remember, we have to clear 6, 7, 8,000, 10, up to 10,000 people, depending how many people are in at that specific time. So we have to be proactive. We can't wait until literally the lightning is right above us and then start clearing everyone
And then
out.
one thing happens to one person and the whole...
Exactly. So yeah, Block Party 19, it was a case of lightning. I don't even think it rained that whole time. But rain's not the issue, right? We can party in the rain. Yeah, it was the lightning, and it ended up passing over us. So we've got professionals with their radars and watching the storms coming in, and we're making, it's a tough call. Nobody wants the festival to go on more than us. I mean, we're literally losing money by the minute when we're delaying. So I know the fan wants to go in, but believe me, no one wants them to enter the festival more than we do, and it's a tough call.
It makes sense. It's logical, but the thing is, a lot of people don't think logically.
Right. So yeah. So weather's always. I mean, we're monitoring the weather. 2 weeks out. On the festival dates, and man, it gets scary sometimes.
So, I don't want to say Block Party 2020. Let's say Block Party 2021. If weather's coming in, what's your approach? Bad weather's coming in, what's your approach?
If bad weather's coming in, again, we have a professional with the stage who actually makes the call, and he's in contact with their insurance company as well. The approach is to basically go on a PA. I have some written language to say over the PA, and then we just start exiting people. from the festival grounds. The second it comes in, I want to say it's within 50, 20 miles, 30 miles.
Yeah, is that the radius?
Yeah, I believe I'd have to double check and relook it up again, but it's something along those lines. And especially if it's coming toward you, which in the case of 2019, it's not like it was moving away at 20, it was coming towards us. Right? So it was, 30, then 29, 28, right, until it finally passed over.
And then it's there, yeah.
And and it was moving slow, which is the worst.
It couldn't just come and go. Yeah.
It might have been moving fast, but when you're in that moment, it looks like it's moving slow.
So speaking of festivals, why not Aries 2021 indoors?
So that's funny that you mentioned that. I actually brought that up to myself in my head not too long ago. A few weeks ago. If Block Party is unable to, which it won't be able to happen in 2020, unfortunately, I might look at doing something around that time. It all depends on, the barriers that we have to leap when it comes to social distancing. If there's any, hopefully that there's not. Maybe there's a vaccine. Maybe there's something that helps us, social gather again in the near future. But I would look to do. It's hard. It's very financially straining to put a bunch of DJs, especially when we were doing Aries. We did a lot of international DJs in a small capacity venue. But I would look to make it work. It might not be as big, not but it might be 6, 7 international DJs. It might only be 2 or 3, but getting a bunch of local ones too on that bill.
Yeah, and who knows? Even maybe the intimacy is better with the social gatherings restrictions and all that.
Yeah, I agree. I loved Aries. It was fun. It was a fun event too, and it's easier putting it inside your own venue, rather than outside, and you don't have to worry about that weather.
And maybe with all this technology going on, like the boom of streaming, well, streaming isn't anything new, but like Zoom and that kind of stuff, a virtual performance on a big screen for other people isn't out of the question as well.
Absolutely. It's something we've discussed in the past, but might be something that we'd have to really look forward to in the future.
I'm already looking forward to it. You count me in. I'm there. I'm there if it's real. On that note, we will go right into What's Yo Take, our 4th segment of this show. How you feeling though? Good?
Very good, thank you.
Beautiful.
Did we already do this one?
Please get it together, man. What do you mean, what's your take?
I'm holding wheel challenge.
Wheel challenge. I was like, I was like, didn't we just do that one?
You were talking about people being replaceable and not missed.
I think you're just talking to yourself here. Anyway, you want to just put on the music, do your one job, do the thing that we hired you for.
I got tenure, so I'm going to take all the time I need, okay?
Okay. Well, that was a great song. Next up, we've got Spin the Wheel. If you've at all been wondering what this contraption is behind me, it is the wheel that we've made, and each of the rungs has a different challenge, and we're going to spin this for you because of social distancing, and then I'm going to tell you what your challenge is, and we're going to go ahead with that challenge. Cool?
Cool.
Deal.
Let's do it.
Let's get it. Oh.
I have no idea what this is.
All right. We are going to test your knowledge.
All right.
With some trivia. I was just resetting that, I promise.
Okay.
But yeah, you got trivia. You ready to go? You feel like your brain cells are warmed up?
Not at all. Not during this time.
I hear you. Okay, first one. What famous U.S. festival hosted over 3,500,000 fans in 1969?
3,500 fans in 2009?
Yeah, sorry, 350,000.
Okay. 350. What famous music festival?
In 1969.
In 1960. Oh, Woodstock.
There you go. It was the summer of 69. Yeah. That's where I came from, right? Here I go singing.
I didn't hear
again.
the year the first time.
Next question. So you got 1 out of 1 so far. Next question for you is the Chainsmokers and Halsey 2016 track Closer was inspired by another song by which 1990s rock band?
I'm gonna pass or say I don't know.
You're gonna pass. Well, the answer is Blink 182. Yes, according to the Chainsmokers, their hit Closer with Halsey was inspired by Blink 182's I Miss You in 2004, with Halsey actually giving a shout out to Blink during the lyrics of their song.
Oh, nice.
Interesting. Last one. You can redeem yourself. You can still win. You still have it in you. Which famous rock band was founded by Lars Ulrich? I hope I said that guy's name right. And James Hetfield.
Ooh, I'm terrible with names.
Clearly, I am too.
Which famous rock band?
Yeah, Lars Ulrich or Ulrich.
Name sounds so familiar.
And James
I know the name,
Hetfield.
but
Enter Sandman is the name of a song.
go give it to me. What is it?
The answer is Metallica.
Oh, Metallica.
Metallica, formed in California in 1981.
Sandman.
Yes.
There you go. I'm honestly not a Metallica fan.
I can't
all.
say I am either, but that's what we're
At
here for,
all.
to test your knowledge.
I don't think I. Yeah.
Well, we tried. You didn't win, so there is no prize for you.
That's all right.
But we can just move on. Have some fun with that. Hey, I like that. The hate wasn't turned towards me this time. How about oh, do we have another trivia question? How about country genre? I hear that's your strength.
Let's do it. I don't know. Let's go. See if I get it.
Oh, okay. Who sings "Friends" in Low Places?
Okay, Burks. Thanks
Perks?
for that. Yeah, thanks for that toss up.
Gotta do what I gotta do, you know? Fantastic. There's only one way to describe that last segment, and that is it's a wheel challenge. Ba-dum-tsh. I wonder what we'll get on our next episode when we spin next time. But now, on to our next and final segment of the show, which is designed to eliminate brain fog for our listeners. This next segment is called Clear the Air. And so it begins. In Clear the Air, we ask you, no, I'm joking. We ask you to be honest about challenges, about common issues within the industry. We want you to ultimately help others be better because we can all just be better. And we want to avoid unnecessary hurdles in this pursuit. Cool?
Cool.
Let's get it going then. What are some risks and rewards of owning and managing a venue?
The rewards are doing what I love to do, as a profession. Dealing with again different people on a daily basis, different tours, different international people coming in. That's definitely a perk. Putting together an amazing team and having an amazing team, that's also an amazing perk.
But also a challenge, I bet. You didn't just get an amazing team.
Exactly. Challenge of having a venue is I've been dealing with again sometimes financial uncertainty, especially when you're promoting a lot of the events and shows, keeping up to date on what's relevant, and working with again we have 80 to 100 staff, which is again a reward because I love my staff and they do such an amazing job. But it's also a challenge, of course.
They expect a paycheck. They expect to be treated
Exactly,
well.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What's up with that, right?
You mean everyone's not working for free? What's going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
so those are just some rewards and challenges.
How do you stay fresh with booking and trends?
Well, at this point in my career, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've got a pretty solid network of agents, managers, and a good staff in house that all stay up to date. Always getting requests from people, hey, book this person, book this person. But with the network that we've kind of had over the past 10 years and the growth that we've had with that network, it's easier when a lot of agents are familiar with our venue and the reputation that we've put forth over the last 10 years. And they reach out to us saying, hey, I have this artist, this artist, this artist coming through. If we don't know exactly who the artist is, it's easy to kind of look up their past events that they've done in the area, and kind of what their following is through social platforms and other music platforms.
What what are some of the restrictions that you look for before you allow an artist to perform at your venue? Like, is there a particular number? You have X amount of followers, you've performed X amount of
Yeah,
times.
not necessarily, because we're unique where we have two kind of venues in the same building, Rum Runners and Music Hall. If we don't believe an artist is able to sell a number of tickets in the Music Hall, we would put them in the Rum Runners, and then we can always move them to the bigger hall once they do. But between the agents, managers, and ourselves at the venue, we all kind of come together and have a pretty good understanding on what that artist is worth in the market. There are sometimes where it blows up in our face, but there are some times where I've booked an artist and expecting 300 people to show up or 200 people, and we sell 16, 1700 tickets.
Damn. How
So
about,
it works both ways.
yeah, of course, of course. How about hurdles of the initial startup of the venue?
Um, Building a reputation was a hurdle that we had to overcome. It was Rum Runners. We started with Rum Runners previous to uh, London Music Hall, and it was more of a club spot at the beginning. Uh, but we wanted to be strictly venues, so we kind of almost immediately said, we're not going to do any club dates. This is just going to be bookings only, music venue. So one of the first artists that we actually had perform for us was Sean Desmond.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then we had Masari. And so we had a lot of the pop acts across Canada first, but slowly but surely our reputation built, especially when the music hall was built, the previous music hall in the same location, but pre-renovations for 700, 900 people. We started bringing in more renowned artists, and that kind of helped build our reputation.
I hear that. I hear that. Cool. And for someone else, if they are looking into not necessarily starting or creating a venue, but they're looking and getting involved in becoming a talent buyer, booker, how would they go about doing that and starting their income or generating a career from it or starting a career?
Um, I'll go with the talent buyer one first. If you wanted to become a talent buyer or a promoter, promote shows, you're going to start small, and you're not going to have a ton of people coming out. You really have to start building relationships with local artists. That's where it all starts. Building solid relationships with artists of all genres who play locally, getting them to earn your trust. Um,
All genres. That's a good point.
exactly. Yeah, finding a venue or two in the city. Unfortunately, there's not enough venues in the city of London at the moment, especially on a smaller scale. Um, so finding a venue, building a relationship with them, um, and yeah, and moving forward, and trying to seek advice from other people in the industry. Whether it's myself, there are a very amount of talent buyers in the city. Brandon Eady being also one of them. Just seeking some advice, on how they got started, and some do's and don'ts when dealing with artists and venues.
Right. Which would be interesting in itself.
Yeah.
Cool. What would you want patrons to be aware of that they may not know? Is there anything in particular that irks you?
Um, when a patron is, I guess, getting in trouble, whether it's for over intoxication or something, we're just trying to do our job, and some of the staff are trying to do their job. And they get kind of abused verbally, and that probably irks me more than anything when that happens. Again, they're just trying to do their job, and we have protocols in place when somebody is doing something that we deem to be offensible, and ejectable in the venue. But again, you're gonna deal with that. But just the verbal abuse sometimes of some staff may get out of hand.
It's a little ridiculous, and it's hard to
Yes.
say that it's expected, because to some degree it is, but that's why you're prepared for it. But also, these people are also people, and they're just doing their jobs.
Absolutely. I've been kicked out of establishments
For sure.
myself, and I've been kicked out when it wasn't my fault at all. And I've gone peacefully because I know, what it could lead to if I don't.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I
It's
mean, my name
definitely
is
not
Big
worth it.
Lou, but I'm not no big brawler. Oh, you're kicking me out? You're probably right.
Yeah.
I'll go. Yeah, probably means something else. Yeah, it's fair. But yeah, I think the message there is we're human. We're just trying to do our jobs.
Absolutely.
And that's across all industries too, not just in the club. So like, be more humble, people. Anyway, the air after that segment is always so fresh and so clean. So thank you for that. And that also brings us to the very end of this episode, which is super mega awesome. I hope you had a fantastic time, because I sure did. I want to ask you if you have any closing words that you'd like to share. I asked you a whole bunch today, but is there any more wisdom you'd like to share?
No, I think just thank you for everything that you guys do over at Prevail and X Events. We've have a great partnership, and a lot of what we do, especially with the festivals, we wouldn't be able to do without you guys, being such great partners.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Is there anywhere, if you want, for the listeners to find you, or London Music Hall, that kind of stuff?
Just follow London Music Hall on all platforms. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I might be creating a London Music Hall TikTok account in the near future
It's
when we
tempting.
return.
It's a business move.
Exactly. Trying to find a 16-year-old who can take over that account because they know what they're doing.
It's the future. It's not a bad idea. But that's London Music Hall across all platforms, correct?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Now, I want to thank our listeners. I hope you learned something, because that's what we strive to do. Wow. That's what we hope for you to do. Shout out to our very own Grumpy Sound guys. Sometimes you're cool, but only sometimes. Don't get ahead of yourself. And to Prevail Media Group, like Dimitri said, we're going to keep on rocking it. You guys make it happen. Lastly,
Hey Dimitri, I'm looking for a place to play with my Metallica cover band.
wow.
Come on in, man.
Look,
how many people
at
can you
this
draw?
Guy.
Just a couple of my friends, but just Metallica though.
So he doesn't really care about what you got to say.
I could just draw in Garth Brooks, like if that's something good.
Who invited
shoot
him?
me
For
an
real, for
email.
real?
Get my contact information from that. We'll set something up.
It worked, believe it or not. Great big thank you to you, Dimitri Manuel. You had a great attitude. But for now, we out. Catch us next time.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, then follow us on Instagram at go.produce. Check out our show notes, support us on Patreon, and help us grow this community. All of this and more can be found on our website at goproduce.ca. I am Big Lou, and I want to make sure that until next time, you go produce.